Okay, welcome. Hello and welcome to this week's Free Jingle Friday. Yes, everything is perfect. Don't worry. We are live right now, podcasting, and of course, for those of you joining us on the video feed, live streaming from a shed.
Woo-hoo!
I'm Mike Russell.
I'm Isabella Russell, and this is a glorified shed. Can we just make this very clear?
A very glorified shed. We'll tour you around it in a moment, but first of all, let's have the intro jingle. Yes, I'm Mike Russell.
I'm Isabella Russell.
And welcome to the stream. Let's do it all over again. You might have noticed that we're in different surroundings. If you're listening on the podcast, we're in a brand new shed. It's going to be awesome, isn't it, Isabella?
Yep, it's fantastic. We are excited.
So what is the first rule of this show, Isabella, that you mustn't do during this show?
You must not super chat.
Do not
today.
super chat. Well, you can if you want.
Well, you can.
If you're just enjoying the content, super chat.
Absolutely.
But we're not making jingles, is the crux of it.
Not this week. Yeah. Not this week. So even though it's called the Free Jingle Friday update, and we are so
grateful
an update. You are tuning in.
Yes, thanks for coming.
Us. Thank you so much for coming in. But we thought that instead of just not going with the show because we're not quite ready really to record jingles,
we're not ready at all.
We will actually go live and just show you what we have so far, how far we've come, what mistakes we've made,
what we've learned,
and kind of just have a little chat with you. So we hope it will be informative, and you will kind of enjoy it.
That's it.
With us.
So it's a 30-minute show today. So if you're listening to the podcast, it's going to be about 30 minutes in duration. If you're here with us streaming, we're going to be here till just after 5:30 the hour. Yay. Maybe longer if we have fun, Isabella.
If we have fun, we might be longer.
I've got my reverb. My Grammy Award-winning reverb is still with us.
The main question is, have you moved Mr. Clive, or is he stuck back?
Hang on, let me just look under the desk. This is the beauty of having a stage mic today. What a silly little shed. I need to turn it into a bar. Where's my gin?
Yeah, he's there. He's definitely moved
somewhere
with
under
us,
there.
right?
Yeah.
He's somewhere there. So,
yes.
So what a week it has been, Mike, hasn't it?
It's been a week.
It's been a
Want to
week
fill them
and
in?
a half.
Shall I fill them in?
Yeah, I think we ought to fill you in, right?
Okay, let's fill you in with the full lowdown. So my last live stream from our old studio actually came out of that studio on Thursday, so a week and a day ago. That's a live stream, actually, I don't know if we've ever mentioned it on this one, that I do for Acusonos. And we'll have to find the link, actually. There is a link that maybe I can share at some stage if you want to go and watch that. I do a weekly live stream now for Acusonos, awesome makers of great restorative plugins for content creators, by the way. So there's that. And then I started tearing apart the studio. And I really apologize for those of you listening on the podcast, because you're not going to see, but if you're listening on the podcast, go and find the Free Jingle Friday update video on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/musicradiocreative, and you'll be able to see the pictures that I will try and describe. Isabella and I will try and describe in detail to you.
I will make it even better. In fact, I have posted those pictures already on Instagram.
So
they are,
clever.
Just find Music Radio Creative on Instagram. You see, this is like simplification. Simplification.
Let me push that button. Right. Okay. Now you can see over there. That's the back of the old desk, the Beast desk, the $3,000 desk with my Crocs next to it. That's kind of before teardown. So for those of you listening right now, you're looking at my very big studio desk with 19-inch rack units built into it. It's really cool. I really enjoyed using that desk. We can't fit it into the shed.
Yeah,
it's 100 kilos.
The problem with that desk is like it would fit in, but actually, because of the way you have to assemble it, you have to turn it on its side, and you could not do it. It's just too wide for the shed roof.
Unfortunately. So there it is from behind. For those of you listening, we're looking at the desk from behind. Isabella's half of the office there at our old location has already been torn out. And as you can see, behind a McCafe latte, no product placement here. Other hot drinks are available. You can see me peeping up from behind my big desk as I'm uncable managing all the cables in our old, awesome live streaming studio. Yeah. There were a lot of cables to tear out, weren't there, Isabella? Let's be frank
here. TV says, and Crocs. Don't forget to mention
Don't forget the Crocs.
Yeah,
of course,
they are.
Other comfortable shoes are available.
Yes, absolutely. So, and can I just say that this has been like this. So this picture is already after quite a lot is gone. But I must say that there are quite a few boxes out already at this stage. And
yes, for those of you.
Can I also say that somebody here has a massive, massive hoarding problem, and I am going to be addressing this.
I just like my technology.
Listen, this has been absolute. I wonder whether you're going to share those pictures.
Maybe in a second.
Maybe.
But before we do,
yes.
and before we get on to any more pictures, or for those of you listening, the description of images and pictures, we will talk to some of the people who are here in the chat right now saying, we've got Xander Law, we've got Mike has a very big desk. I almost misread that one. It's a family show, by the way. It's a family show. Thank you, DJ VJ Nigel. Steve Owen's favourite shoes, says Doug from Down Under. Congrats on the new house studio. It's a shed studio. We'll tour around it in a second. I'm going to pick up a portable. We've got a portable camera here, which is pointing at my hand at the moment. So we'll pick that up a little bit later in the stream. Brendan's on Facebook. Another free jingle Friday. Lovely. But remember, no jingles this week. This is just an update show. So let's look at the next. There we go.
Cables. I mean, we have
cables, more cables.
There are at least two like massive bags. We're talking about industrial-sized bags of cables.
Yeah.
There are two huge boxes full of cables. I mean, literally, cables are coming through my ears. And I said to Mike that if I see on Amazon order a single cable, I'm literally just going to go mental because he has every single cable there is to be had.
Well, I will. You realise I will need to order more cables. For instance, now this is an interesting conundrum, and maybe our viewers are very techie, very well informed. So maybe you watching right now can give us a hand with this. We have a little thing. So this is the shed here, all around us, and we'll have a tour later on. Isabella's office is going to be about 30 or 40 meters over that way.
Yes.
And so what we were thinking is, how can we do a live stream when we're in two different rooms? Because this room isn't really big enough for both of us, unlike our old room. So obviously we need to Ethernet between both rooms. So we have internet, like connectivity in both rooms. It's going to be hardwired because we're live streaming. It's got to be that way. You can't do it over Wi-Fi. It's not reliable enough. Then we have audio and video to get through. Now, at first, my mind was telling me, well, OBS, which we're using to do this live stream, has a fantastic NDI integration. NDI is basically audio and video over IP, but it's got latency and it's not always been perfect. And I don't really like NDI, even though it's good technology. So then I thought, well, no worries running analog audio cables. I could probably run a few XLRs and jack cables and poke them through the wall 40 meters down the way where you're going to be, as you do. That's going to be fine for me, not a problem. Yeah. And then it's about getting the video as well. So you've got a mixer in your studio. You're going to have a video camera, but HDMI does not, and that's what we use to go into the capture cards. It doesn't travel well over distance. 15 meters is about your max. That's not enough.
And
SDI is what I'm thinking. So if anyone has any further thought on that, on how to get audio, video, and a stable internet connection to Isabella's office completely.
That'll be fun. That will be fun. So
and you'll see it eventually on Free Jingle Friday.
You will. So, so there will be two completely separate studio spaces for both of us.
That's
and I can see there are questions coming in. It's like, why did you move? Like, you have such a good studio, and it's like you tore
We just like
apart.
the fun of moving. Well, do you want to know the reason why we moved? The single reason.
It's not the single reason.
It's the single reason we moved. Okay, this is the single reason. Look, here's my screen share. Let's go to fast.com. And this is the reason we moved. Wait for it. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, gigabit internet, baby. That's what we have in our new location of business. There you go. It was gigabit for a while. Now it's saying it's 720. That's only because I'm streaming right now at the highest possible quality to YouTube. I don't know what kind of Oh, hang on. I'm by doing this speed test, I'm also buffering the stream, so I better stop that speed test. that's put our internet under a little bit of strain.
Whoops.
So we should come back on in a second. That was the best demonstration ever, wasn't it?
That was the best.
To actually max out our internet connection so the live stream stopped. We should be getting ourselves back online.
Are we not live?
Any moment now. No, we are live. It's just that was a silly thing to do a speed test that saturates our internet connection.
Well done.
When we're live streaming.
Well done,
I think we're back though now. So
dear.
we saturated our internet connection so much that part of the live stream was actually delayed. But the whole crux of this is that we have gigabit internet in our new place,
which is amazing. I mean, that is quite cool. But no, that is not the sole reason why we've moved, to bring it to kind of reality. So the old space was great, but actually it just wasn't big enough. I know it may sound silly, but we do have so many grand plans, both for Free Jingle Friday, but also for the YouTube channel, and we want a bigger space. So we moved to a place where we can purpose build the whole studio. In fact, so much so we already had our first meeting with an architect, and which was super exciting. And we are hoping, she has reassured us that we should be able to have a studio ready by the end of this year. So,
did we see the architects?
Architects, yes, we did.
Make the body move. You got to make the body move.
What is that?
Do you not get it?
No.
We saw the architects last week.
God. No, an architect.
Make the body move. You gotta make the body move. Come on, it's an early 2000s classic. The architects.
Clearly not in my books.
Right? You remember, don't you? Anyway, we've got some really good chats coming in.
Yeah.
Ian says, I'm an electronic engineer. This is awesome. Thank you, Ian. Send me a diagram of what you need. I would be able to sort something out for you. That's amazing, Ian. If you email or tweet or something after the show,
so we can have,
we'll be in touch with you. That'd be
fab.
amazing. Everyone's saying nothing happened. You didn't drop out. So I think it was just our end.
You dropped out.
It was just our end. Our viewing of the stream dropped out. You're like, are we off? Are we off? What's going on? Are we off? No, we're not off. It's because I was saturating the downlink. So essentially, we couldn't watch any video. We couldn't watch the video feed because we'd maxed out our internet.
But we didn't go off. So you see, this is brilliant. So hopefully, we will no longer have any problems with dropping out.
No,
so
not.
That's one. And this is really exciting. So when the very first thing we did when we moved in, so we moved both our house and the studio. So we like working from home. And actually, we had this conversation a number of times, and we thought, having an actual office that you go to is a reduction in quality of life, in our opinion, and we didn't want that. So we work and live in the same location, which is great for us, for our sort of lifestyle design,
well-being.
I guess, and well-being and everything else. Yeah. So we moved our house and the studio, which was very stressful. I mean, moving a house is stressful. And then on top of that, moving an office space, because it's kind of like a double stress. I mean, we've been I will be honest with you, it has been a really tough week for us.
It's been stressful.
It's been really, really stressful. But I think we are getting to the other side of it, which is the positive thing.
Yeah, you had to have your desk in place and your office, and then you started to relax. You're like, I can work again. Isabella is a self-confessed workaholic, and you love it.
I completely am. Honestly, the whole week without a desk and my computer, it's like an agony. It was just too much for me.
We got it hooked up now, and we're going to get the wires through. I'm just going to read out some more comments before we get on to other stuff. So Student FM says, working and living in the same place is great. I heartily agree with that. Yeah, Grow Junkie Radio says that's an amazing speed. So we're using our uplink. We've got symmetrical, so we've got gigabit down and gigabit up, which is just amazing. I think we're in a very small percentage of world population with that, and we're feel very fortunate for that. We are actually now currently, and I can see it in our real-time usage, we are sending around about 51 megabits per second up. So I thought, as an experiment, I would try and stream at the maximum quality YouTube will allow. Now, bear in mind, we're not streaming in 4K because all our cameras and equipment is set to 1080p. But we are sending 51,000 kilobits per second bit rate up to YouTube. And then YouTube does its thing where it converts everything and makes it all cool. It seems absolutely fantastic. I'm so glad we can do that. And that's future-proofing, because in the future, when we do get that new studio built, we'll deck it out. Well, I don't know about 4K by then. It might be 8K we're looking at. And we'll have the bandwidth to do it, which is great. Other stuff here. Gavin says you could get an HDMI to SDI converter. I think that's exactly what we'll do. Blackmagic run them, and they are great. Then just run the audio out of her mixer into yours. That's exactly my intention. So good thinking there. Thinking like Student FM agrees with that. Blackmagic SDI. Yeah, everyone's saying use the Blackmagic stuff, which I think I'll be doing. So SDI is the way. Right. We're running a 50-meter SDI cable from this shed to your studio, Isabella.
Sounds exciting.
Yes, it's going to be very exciting. So SDI is the way to go. Yes, but don't worry, they'll run somewhere outside.
Somewhere.
So it'll be fine. You won't even see them.
And I can see that Alexander is asking whether we are still on the Isle of Wight, and yes, we are. Is the answer.
We love the Isle of Wight.
We are still on the Isle of Wight.
Love the Isle of Wight.
We love it. It's a brilliant place. We've literally our move has been maybe like 5 miles distance. It's not a big move, but
can I show you another picture? Yeah. And here we go. This is really exciting. So again, you took this one of me taking the bass straps off the wall. Now they look like just light panels, but those are real heavy beasts. So all of our acoustic treatments from Art Novion, you'll see it behind us here. Yes. Put it up just in a different order. It's all here. Got it back up again really quick. So that's me taking them down last week. And that's the dog wanting to play. It's like every time I was trying to clear out our old studio, she was there looking like that. I mean, how can you not play? It took me hours extra just because of that face all the time outside the studio.
She's growing. And in fact, I'm actually really excited about this because when the whole setup is complete, in fact, perhaps next week now, she's going to likely be with me in the room.
She'll be running in and out.
She's going to be a far more permanent feature of the show.
We'll have to have a puppy camera.
Yeah, she just will be with us because she loves sitting with me in the office, and I think that she will just really enjoy being. So she will pop in much more often. So that would be really nice.
More pictures. Old studio, desk coming apart. It wasn't actually as hard as it looks.
No, it wasn't. It was in fact quite easy. We were.
See, like, Isabella makes it look easy. She's like, done, Mike. This is now the new shed. So as you can see, first thing we did here in the UK, it's called B&Q. I know down under you call it what is it? House Depot or something, or Trading Depot? I don't know. I don't know what, but anyway, B&Q is our DIY store. So we've popped down there a few times, picked up some walnut wood stain, because this was like, basically this shed was like a sauna to start with, and it even smelt of wood and stuff. And it's good. It's good, but it got better when I put that wood stain on. Now, as you can see behind me, to my top right, you can actually see that there are some cables poking out there. We already had pre-installed in the shed. How cool is this? We inherited a shed with Ethernet included, which I think is absolutely awesome. So as you'll see behind me, up here, there is actually a Ubiquiti in-wall socket there, and that takes the Ethernet from our main internet hub. So we have brilliant Wi-Fi in here. We also run through, Isabella bursting back in, we're also run through power over Ethernet to the back side of the desk, which I'll show you in a second, which has a little Ubiquiti flex switch, which allows me to plug in all the computers and stuff, which is really, really cool. So yeah, really happy that was included.
I need to apologise. We do have a number of deliveries still running in, and it's like,
this is in and out, taking like, calls, answering doorbells.
Yeah, there is this, there's that, you know.
Yes.
So, but this was a very kind of blank room, which is great because it was a blank canvas to work with. And it's like, we were just straight away, okay, you know, there is a walnut that needs to go on those walls to make it darker because we can't have so much light
and bright
and brightness.
And that's what it looked like when it was finished. Now, the really cool thing about this, so obviously they're still mixing things around, getting the Art Nouveau ready to mount on the wall. Loads and loads of plug sockets included in the shed. It's just fantastic. It's perfect for us. And there you go. You got a little heater on the floor. So we installed that. It's a Wi-Fi heater. Looking happy because things are starting to get done. That's when we got the desk in. So it's not my big audio desk that we've got in this shed studio. It's my favorite old desk. Actually, I used to have this desk years and years ago, and it's back in. And then it went to Isabella, and now it's back here for the moment. And it holds a lot of stuff, as you'll see in a second. I'm going to tour around, or for those of you listening, I'll tell you what's in here. Isabella there trying to cover that she's wearing pajamas late at night.
Yes, thanks, Mike. That's very nice.
There I am. I've just mounted the Art Nouveau panels using their brilliant mounting system and got them on the roof. Those roof tiles are a pain to mount, but I did it in the end. So that's all good.
Hang on. You missed the detail. What about the curtains?
Oh, yes, Isabella's wonderful curtains.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like...
I spent a lot of time finding thermal, heat-resistant, proof sound curtains.
Heat-resistant and whatever else curtains. And they were not cheap. I mean, just to give an example, the curtains for this room cost over £500.
Oh, my goodness. But the thing is, because it was just a shed to start with, it was extremely echoey. When we came in here and started speaking, it was hello. It was kind of like that. So, Isabella, we've covered, I'll show you in a second, but we've covered about just over half of the shed with curtains.
Yes.
We've got Art Nouveau panels up on the ceiling, which look the business. Yes. Art Nouveau square behind me with the LifeX lights reinstated. I'll animate them next week for you. And two awesome. I always thought these little jutting out ones, they always got a bad rap in our old studio because we hid them away behind furniture, which is not the idea of having a sound panel. Really, a sound panel should cover a wall that's reflective. So now they take a prime of place here. Oh, we've also got, there's getting finished up. Look at that with the curtains and those jutting out things mounted and me about to mount. And so that's all the photos. What do you think, Isabella?
That's pretty much sums it up. And then Mike brought all his gear in, and we do have a lovely cupboard which you can see just there.
Yes,
and
it's going to be full of things by next
full
week.
Of things.
But hopefully next week.
That's the one thing that I want to challenge you, Mike, is to be a little bit more organized in what goes off the camera.
Yes.
Like there is this whole thing
that's
of
right.
having a lot of things in those cupboards that we're like.
So we need to be organised, and I totally get it.
We will be, but it's fun. And actually, I must say that out of everything that we've put into the studio, the acoustic tiles, by far, I think, just define the whole room. And
they do.
Not to forget about the rug.
Oh,
you have to show the rug.
Okay.
The rug.
So let me switch over to my mobile camera, which is here. Hello, and I'm going to show you around, and I'm going to describe for those of you listening on the podcast. So this is the setup. This is what we're looking at. Yay. We've got an Elgato key light up there. We've got some JBL speakers. We've got a Sony camera plugged into a cam link. We have got the Elgato Stream Deck, so I can do my switching. Not as posh as my old studio where I had built into a rack. At the moment, it's just sitting there. We've got the Soundcraft Signature 12 MTK desk. We have got the, we got YouTube Studio. We've also got wonderful clock. I want one of those clocks for real on our wall somewhere. Yeah. When I'm out there, they're from Camford Audio in the UK. They do clocks like that. And you can see, if you look at our real-time usage of internet, I don't know if that's showing, we are actually streaming up around 54 megabits per second out of a possible 900, which is cool. Over here, you can see OBS Studio in action. You can see my little Ubiquity Flex there, which is so cute. It's powered by Power over Ethernet, which I think is awesome. We've got the lovely Isabella is just here using her Rode Pod mic. What else? Oh, yes, you told me to show the rug. So there is a rug in our shed studio on the floor, and it's like Abbey Road Studios, eat your heart out. It's like, if it's good enough for Abbey Road, then it's good enough for us. And
it's not a Persian rug just yet, but I think that if you could get one, I think you would get a Persian rug here. It's and I think that eventually that probably will happen, perhaps in the next alliteration of the studio.
Absolutely.
But may I just also say, because I've just watched some comments coming in, the fact that our studio is not set up for our live stream and for work doesn't mean that Music Radio Creative is not working. We are very, very fortunate to have
good question to answer.
A whole team of voice artists, producers, and obviously customer service. So if you are looking to actually order jingles, none of this has stopped.
100% operating.
It's operating as normal. There is no disruption in service at all. Mike, in general, does not produce jingles on a day-to-day basis. So we have brilliant producers who do that in general. That's nice. Hey.
There we go.
So don't worry. If you are looking to order jingles, they are available just as normal. It's just Mike and I that are setting things up that are not available to record as well. So,
there you go. Yeah. Now, unfortunately, one of the things about having a shed studio and not a second room is we do have this tower unit that's making a bit of a noise. I'm using this computer currently to do a bit of everything. So it's doing the audio, it's doing the streaming, it's doing everything. It's not actually that noisy, but you definitely know it's there. And then this under here, this little cabinet is where I've got the audio gear at the moment. And, I initially bought this thinking we've got a lot of Ubiquity Unify stuff. I'll put like the routers and the switches in there. But unfortunately, those routers and switches are so big, they go flush to the wall, so you can't plug cables in the back. Yeah. Whereas audio 19-inch racks tend to be half the length, so you can get them in there comfortably and run cables around the back. So at the moment, I've got two DBX286Ss, a power conditioner, the 166XS, which isn't functional at the moment because I haven't had time to get the cables to plug it in. And the cables kind of go round the back of this unit and out the side, and all very messy at the moment. Underneath the table, there's Isabella's foot. There's a Focusrite 2i2, which is sending the audio out to the stream. Yeah. But all of that stuff is plugged in here, and I'm going to have to cable manage it and run it so it's not running across the desk like this. It looks awful, doesn't it? So we've got all that. These are Isabella's super curtains, by the way, which are really, really good. They actually look good. I really like them.
They're really nice. It's a nice color curtains, and they are both thermal and blackout curtains with lots of other bits in there. So we didn't want to put something it is temporary, but it will be temporary maybe for as long even as 6-7 months. So it's a long enough stretch
till the new places
to have to be really top notch. So that's what we are working on. So
there we go. I think that is pretty much it. We can do some Q&A. We could do a few questions and stuff. I'm just going to look through the Facebook chat.
We absolutely.
Interesting that Kati says Facebook for me is interrupting intermittently, still watchable, but buffers for a sec every 20-ish seconds. I've got a feeling that's because I'm sending 51,000 kilobits per second up, and probably YouTube can handle it, but Facebook maybe not. Do let us know if you're watching on Facebook. Do let us know if the stream is interrupted for you or if it's just Kati there. Everyone's saying use an SDI cable, which is good for getting stuff between our studios.
That's what we need to do, won't we?
Definitely need to do that. Yes. What else have we got here? Let's have a look. Read out some of these comments already. So we've got...
And as you are looking through, can I just add, I'm really excited to actually share with you my bit of the studio, because... in a way that, I'm quite excited about it, because that's going to be a space just for me.
Yes.
But also a space to record and do video in. Whereas in the previous place, it was kind of, I was tagged on to Mike's space. And then I had my separate workspace. So I'm kind of condensing it into one. And I'm really excited about it because, again, it's a blank canvas. And in a way, I know it sounds, weird, but I'm getting a much better room than Mike does temporarily. So...
it's good. But it's going to be big. Yeah, it's going to be big and it's going to be good. And no, absolutely. You deserve it, and you can do a lot of different things in there.
Absolutely. So, but logistically, it had to work that way for us. So I'm really excited about it. And next week, hopefully, we will be back up and running with regular jingles, and everything just should be as normal. But you will get to see both ends of the studio, whereas at the moment, you're just having a little preview to Mike's... command station.
Yes. So let's read out a few comments before we go. Just a couple of minutes to go now. And for those of you experiencing problems on Facebook, head over to YouTube maybe. DJ Gavcorp in Uganda says, one day I wish we can meet. Thank you guys. Love you all. What else have we got here? Yes, I really want that clock, that the one I've got on my screen as a real clock in here. That would be amazing. How do I find the cam links, asks Mark. Any issues with latency? None at all. Love Elgato cam links. They're amazing. Now they have 4K. There's no excuse not to have them. What else have we got here?
Where will the lawnmower go? Don't worry, we have 5 sheds in this place.
Oh, yeah.
We've devoted one for the lawnmower. Don't worry.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, by the way. We had a nice super chat from Grow Junkie Radio. It says, get a bottle of wine on us.
Oh, thank you so much. Nice. It's really nice. And it's lovely to see all of your comments, just saying that you enjoy our live streams and you enjoy watching us. It really makes, it makes it all worth it. So all the effort, sleepless nights, and, all the stress of, is this going to work? Is this not going to work?
Just about working.
It's all worth it. Thanks to those comments.
Yes.
Thank you.
John says, again, vote for SDI cables between our studios, Isabella. It carries 16 channels of audio, so you can send and return audio and video down just one cable. You'll like that. No overuse of cables. And Renegade Maxter has an awesome comment. So your shed studio essentially was a Swedish massage parlor before the wood stain, and now it's a Dutch parlor afterwards.
There you go.
Yes, I would say so. Alsjeblieft. Yeah, that's thank you in Dutch, isn't it? Did I get that right? Student FM will confirm.
Oh,
On that bombshell of messing up the Dutch language, I think we should probably go. What do you think?
I think so. So we will be back, so don't worry. And in the meantime, if you have any jingle needs, urgent or less urgent, musicradiocreative.com is the place to go.
Yes.
Everything works as normal.
That's it. And we're going to get out of here, so that's it. Remember, don't download any jingles because there are no jingles. No jingles whatsoever, but have a great weekend. We'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Free Jingle Friday is made possible thanks to our sponsor, Restream. The easy way to stream to multiple social platforms at the same time. Restream Studio makes it simple to go live directly from your browser. Get your first month free at mrc.fm/restream.